Shalom, Shalom, Shabbat, Adonai. Welcome to the Sixth Exodus program. Thank you for listening. The name of this segment is Strangers and Sojourners. I'd like to read to you one scripture from First Chronicles chapter 29, verse number 15. Okay, let's begin. For we are strangers before thee and sojourners, as were our fathers. Our days on the earth are as a shadow, and there is none abiding. O Lord our God, all this store that we have prepared to build thee an house for thine holy name come of thine hand, and is all thine own. I know also, my God, that thou triest the heart, and hast pleasure in uprightness. As for me and the uprightness of my heart, I have willingly offered all these things, and now have I sent with joy thy people, which are present here, to offer willingly unto you. Okay, we're going to stop the reading, and we're going to have a few comments on our objectives that are at hand. Um, I know we have a tall task, as so our forefathers did when they came out of captivity. But for some reason, I think our task is larger. But nevertheless, I know the Lord is with us, as He always have been. So these things are big, and they are larger than we can understand. But nevertheless, we can accomplish those goals. As the Lord has made seasons to come and go, so have nations came and went. But the Lord said He will set up an everlasting kingdom. So I don't worry, but I know what's at hand. Um, these things are very important, and we must set them up, and um, and we must do it quickly. Set up our government, set up our legislative, our VA, and take care of our veterans, and we will take care of them, get them registered, and take care of them, and then their health issues, and our Social Security, elderly seniors, take care of them and get money into their hands quickly, cash into their hands, and take care of them. And medical is humongous, and our medical situation is that we want to do free medication and health, and we don't believe that you can put a price on care. I believe that not only do we have to take care of our own people, but we will, because of our location in the Middle East, we will have to take care of a lot more people that we intend to. So we cannot um, say to anyone, we cannot take care of you. But also, we have a sure foundation because we have the Most High that people can go to Him and ask Him for healing and for prayer. And we are all ministers. We can pray for each one also. So, as far as medical, but I think all the once we start up all of our ministries, our government ministries, and I think once a year that if we can donate, well, it just don't have to be once a year. It can be throughout the year. We'll have a location, uh, a bank, where we can donate to the medical cause, uh, education, and priests, and of course to the priests that are in the temple and those that go to the temple daily. We have fundings to give to these organizations, and we have like a fundraising for all the government agencies, the larger agencies. All of them are large, but the VA, the military, parks and recreation, medical, sports union, priests, Social Security, and education is going to be very large as far as number and paying people long term. Because of the VA, our veterans, we have to take care of them. Our military, because we need military support. Parks and Recs, because we need to take care of our land and take care of the natural parks and reserves that we have. And as far as medical, take care of the elderly, take care of those who are in poor health, including foreigners. You know, I noticed that there are a lot of people in the world have cleft palate, and I tell you, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to come in for cleft palate operations. I know it. I think there's a cleft palate hospital that's going to be in a province called Sharon. Um, Sports Union is it's going to be a huge for us financially. It's going to be huge because we're going to support the athletes, and because we're coming out of captivity, and because we're going to have this large burden in taking care of our athletes and their contracts that they're under, and try to uphold them and support them in their needs and desires. But I think there'll come a change concerning the sports union of all the people that are making millions of dollars now. I think once we get to our country, they're not going to want so much $1 million. I think they're gonna come. I think they're gonna become more humble. And the priests of the Lord that are minister to God, we have to take care of them. Social Security, our elderly, we must take care of them, and the education. So, we are what type of government we are? We are a theocracy. We will be a theocracy because God will live in the midst of us, and you are all ministers and ministers of God forever. But we do have um, democratic objectives as far as voting, and our Ministry of Interior will set up voting for us and when we can vote. Um, as for me, my request is that we don't have voting for at least 6 to 10 years. I have a request that we do not have voting. I mean, we can prepare the voting booth and prepare how we're going to vote and make information as an education about voting because we're going to need all our leaders to be in one place for a while until we establish our government. So originally, the first time, initially, the first voting rounds will come it'll be a while, 6 to 10 years before we do any voting on a local level, on the in the provinces and in the ministry. It'll be a while before we do anything like that. But nevertheless, we're not a socialist country, but we do have social programs, including taking care of those who are ill. Um, the government is not going to pay for everything. As soon as we get our money going, we can be able to turn over things to people who are fared very presumptuously, and turn businesses. Hopefully, the sports union will can be able to do this. Um, it's going to be interesting how it's done, but if it is done, it'll be some time, I believe, before an individual can own a team. But nevertheless, we plan on carrying all the teams, the ministry, the country, because we have the facilities and the infrastructure to do so, and to make sure that the people are being paid, and also security for all the events, and continuously. So that's something that is very big. But nevertheless, the country is not ours. We are strangers and sojourners. And so, but we will succeed because if the Lord wants to be so, God will pour into us resources that we have not known of. So I'm not worried about as far as gold or silver, or how to be able to pay for all these things. I'm not worried about that. But mostly we need to plan. That's why I start planning already, so that we can get things going. Because I do not know, no one knows when the Lord will come and get us. But for sure, we are Hebrew, and for sure we will leave America. When, I cannot tell you, but I know for a fact. And I've lost a lot of friends and family members because of this. Lots of people I don't have as friends. I think I have two friends. One of them, I haven't talked to her in 8 years. I know she'll be by my side. And my other friend, oh, Leroy and Debbie, they'll always be by my side. But as far as family, um, kick to the curb. Hey, but I understand they are hardwired. They believe in that what they was taught as children, and they look at me as like, oh, he has gone crazy. He believes in the laws of God, and he keeping the law. They say, oh, he's crazy because he lives. We are under grace. We don't have to keep the law. But for me, I love the law. I love it. I have no plans of letting go of God's law. I'm angry with myself, and I hate myself because all the things I did and I didn't know. But now that I know who I am, I'm not letting the laws of God go. I love them. It's a part of me. It's like my blood. How can I separate my blood from my body? The law is my body, and the wisdom of God is my sister, and understanding is my cousin. How can I separate myself from these things? How can I separate myself from my body, separate myself from God, His laws, my sister, which is wisdom, and understanding, which is my cousin? How can I separate myself from these things? But nevertheless, I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I'm looking forward to being in our own country. And I'd like to see our people not suffer or not be ostracized and punished just for their color or just because of their talents. I like to see um, symphonies, orchestras, all of these things, ballet, not only our arts, but I like to see movies being made in cinema. I like to see historically movies about ourselves in the arts, or to tell the truth about who we are. Very, very much I like to see the truth being told in the media, in cinema, about our people in history, that we can tell the story, not someone else telling the story for us. Because the Americans and the Jewish people have told their own stories for thousands of years about us, and we haven't had nothing to say about ourselves. But nevertheless, just sharing with you as far as we being strangers and sojourners. But nevertheless, we're going to take care of our people and take care of those who come around us, and help those that are in need, because we are sojourners together on the earth, as God has given us life, and so we cherish Him who give us life, He who lives forever. And if He desires, and we have found grace in His sight, then He will allow us to live along with Him forever, that we will stay in the land, and that we will live forever with Him, because we delight ourselves in Him and in His precepts. So we will be with Him forever. I said forever, forever, forever. That means no end. That means we will cease from being human. We will be like Him and live forever. So this is what this is all about. This is what it is all about. From a physical being to a spiritual being, and living with the Most High, that this planet will be transformed to a planet of spiritual beings instead of human beings that are just humans, then there's that does crime, war, and all these things are not needed. That we will become beings that are spiritual and not need all these things. In time, these things will happen. And thank the Lord for allowing us the opportunity to live with Him, and that He loves us so much that He desires to live among us. So there will be a people that will love God's ordinance and live with Him. It's written in this book. These things are faithful and true. I know they are, because I would not be talking to you about them. Okay, I'm finished talking, but I know that we have an outstanding um, mountain to climb, but I know He's given us strength to climb it. So I'm ready for the climb. Okay, thank you again for listening. Have a great day.